What is good? What is good, people? It's your boy Warren from We Brand You. Wait for a few more people to jump in and then we're going to get into it. Let's get into it. Today's topic. I just want you to throw your questions. We're going to have a Q&A. What's good, Jules Dean? Big up yourself. We Brand You. This is a platform for clothing brands to scale from scratch to six figures. Okay? We're going to get into some topics this morning. Feel free to shout any questions that you got. And we're going to answer them. Shout out Crooked Smile. See you, brother. Hope you're well. Today is just a quick live, whether you're tuning in live right now or whether you're catching this on repeat. I just want to share with you some gems today, because we just launched our course. We've just launched our massive course that we're super pumped up about. It's called How to Grow Your Clothing Brand from Scratch to Six Figures. Now, we've worked closely with a lot of clothing brands over the past 3 years, and we've put together this course, right? And I'll tell you why. Before I jump into the video and the main topics, I'm going to tell you why we decided to go ahead and do this course, right? We found when we first came into the business and we started printing t-shirts almost 10 years ago, right? And doing clothing brands, we found that 90% of our customers wouldn't come back and make repeat purchases, right? And the reason for this is because most people don't know how to sell clothing. They don't know how to sell clothing. So not only was it damaging our business, but it was also damaging other people's businesses, right? Because people was coming, buying 50 t-shirts, 50 tracksuits, 50 caps, and they didn't know how to sell it. They were left with all this stock. So we thought, right, we need to shift from just being a clothing printers to actually showing people and educating people how to actually sell their product once they've got it. Yo, shout out Just DJ and Such G. That's the biggest problem. Like, you've probably been there. You've ordered stock, but you don't know how to sell it. After you finish selling it to your friends, your family members, what do? You're left with the stock, right? And no one wants to sit on that stock. That's thousands of pounds, hundreds of pounds of stock wasted. So we decided to shift from just being a printers and a manufacturer to actually teaching and educating people on how to build a clothing brand from scratch to six figures. Okay, we've done it numerous times. We've worked with numerous brands, and it's doable. And it's broken down into 3 steps. It's broken down into product. It's broken down to build a clothing brand from scratch to six figures. It's going to take quality product, marketing, and back end, like customer service, right? Once you've got these 3 things in place, you're going to be able to scale from scratch to six figures within 6 to 12 months. Okay, 100%. But that's not actually. We're gonna release the details on this course over the next couple of days, and you guys will be able to go and get it. But in the meantime, what I wanted to jump on this IG today and share with you is understanding target marketing. Okay, when you're creating a clothing brand, big up Crooked Smile. My hands on more stuff. 100%, brother. You know what we do. We'll get it. Shout out Stephen Cab. When you're creating a clothing brand, and this is a major tip, don't sleep on this tip. This is free game I'm giving you, right? This is the difference between 0 and 6 figures in a short amount of time, right? When you are building a clothing brand, you have to know straight away who your target market is. Okay, so for example, if I'm making a clothing brand, I want to make it for golfers, people that are into golf. Okay, because once I know my target market, I can create products, golf logos, images and logos and clothing that golfers will like. Okay, and then when I go to do my marketing in my Facebook and my Instagram and my Google ads, I'm gonna target golfers. Okay, that's it. You don't need to target golfers and footballers and basketball. No, just pick one group of people and create products for those type of people. Trapstar have done it. Trapstar came in the game and they created clothing for simply trappers. We all know what a trapper is. Trapper is someone that's on the streets making their money from the streets, however it may be. Now, this isn't a moral discussion. This is a fashion discussion. That's what they did. They created clothing that would appeal to people that was trapping on the streets. Trapstar. And guess what happened? Once they got all of the trappers in, you had all of the they started attracting other people in, like musicians, like celebrities, like sports stars. They grabbed other people in, but that wasn't their initial target market. Their target market was targeting people that were trapping on the streets, on the roads, making their money hustling. That's what they did. They did it. Now, you might think, yeah, but Trapstar, loads of people wear their clothing, right? They appeal to loads of people. Yeah, now they do. And now they've got more broader scope. But originally, they had one target market only. And I say that to say this. You have to have one person in mind, because if you try and market to everyone, you end up marketing to no one. If you try and sell to everyone, you end up selling to no one. And one of the biggest things I hear people when we sit down and we consult with people is we hear them say, when we ask them, who's your target market? They say, well, you know, this person, that person, you know, artists, you know, clothing brands, this, that, you know, tennis star. Like, they reel off about 4 or 5 people that they feel like their target market is. And that is never gonna work, dude. That is never gonna work. Don't make that mistake. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. You need to have one idea in your head. Like, I knew a brand, right? Many years ago, about 6 years ago. They went from scratch to 6 figures, right? We sat down with them, we consulted with them, and guess what? They targeted truck drivers. Their brand was truck drivers only, right? Their brand was truck drivers, and they hit the nail on the head. They was doing it right. All of their gear, all of their stuff was geared towards aiming at people that drove trucks. So, you know, you got the late night truckers that are driving up and down. You know, you got the people that are doing DPD, people that drive trucks. And their logo was a truck. Their stuff was warm, their stuff was durable to last. Like, that was their target market, and they was able to scale from scratch to 6 figures because they had an understanding that you just need one target market. That's it. One target market is going to put 6 figures in your pocket. And here's the thing, like Trapstar, once you attack that target market, you're going to transcend into other markets, and other people are going to want to start buying from you. But your direction doesn't change. Your target market don't change. You still create for that initial target market. And if other people want to come and buy, so be it, right? Shout out iconickids.com. Drop an emoji down below if you get what I'm saying, just so I can get and understand that if that I'm making sense right now, because I need you to understand this. I need you, because I'm so tired of people throwing their money down the drain, right, and blowing money because they don't understand these basics. When you are building a clothing brand from scratch to 6 figures, you must understand that you only need to pick one target market, right? Don't be having loads of different people trying to attack them. It's long. Nike, yeah? Nike done it best. If you read Phil Knight's Shoe Dog, if you've read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, drop an emoji below, right? Phil Knight, the owner of Nike, he came in the game initially by importing trainers from Japan, right? Running trainers from Japan. He imported trainers, and that's what they were. They were attacking athletes, okay? Their target market was athletes. That's all they did. And now as they've grown, they've become a massive brand. But guess what? Their main target market is athletes. Imagine that. It's so much more now, but their main target market, if you strip away everything, the celebrities, the endorsements, at the heart of their brand, they support athletes. Like I said earlier, Trapstar, they came in the game attacking audiences of the people that were trapping on the streets. And now they've attracted so much more different other audiences. But ultimately, you have to have one target market, right? You have to. So choose a target market right now. Maybe, and usually it comes from what you enjoy doing. So if you're an artist, then you should be making clothing brands for other recording artists. If you're a personal trainer, you should be making and targeting clothing for other personal trainers, right? If you're a lorry driver and you want to get into the clothing brand, you should be creating clothing brands and a clothing brand for other lorry drivers. If you like playing tennis, you should be creating a clothing brand for other tennis people, okay? If you're a DJ, you should be creating a clothing brand for other DJs to wear at night in the club that's durable, that can breathe, that looks good. That's where your target market is going to come from, because that's where your passion is. That's where your passion is. So that's where your creation should come from. And now when you create your brand story on your website, you're authentic, because you're not a vet trying to create clothing brands for sports. You're not a DJ trying to create clothing brands for flipping recording artists, or a DJ trying to create clothing brand for the track. You are authentic. You have to be authentic. Okay? Crooked Smile, what if you don't have anything that other people do though? What if you don't have anything that other people do? Crooked Smile, do me a favor and just try and rephrase that question for me, just so I can get a clearer understanding than what you're asking me, so that I can answer it for you, brother. I appreciate that. But you have to get this thing in your head out of trying to create a clothing brand for everyone, because you're gonna fail quickly. And like I said, when we came in the industry 10 years ago, we found that 90% of the customers that was buying from us that wanted to start a clothing brand, they were leaving. They wasn't coming back to us for repeat purchases, right? Because after doing research, we found that it's because they were sitting on stock. After they finished trying to sell to their friends, their family, they were left with the stock they didn't know how to sell. They didn't understand Google ads. They don't understand Facebook ads. They don't understand marketing. They don't understand customer service. They don't understand dispatch and how to get the best dispatch rates from post offices. And they don't understand all of this. And this is what we're here to solve for you. This is what we're here to create a solution for, because there's no good. There's so many clothing manufacturers that are just taking people's money without actually educating or teaching them, because they don't care. They just want you to buy from them. They don't care if you know how to sell it or not. As long as you keep going to them, manufacturing clothes with them and putting money in their pocket, why should they care? But this is where we came in the game and wanted to make a difference. We understood, you know what, there's no point in you coming to us, buying 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, investing that money to build a clothing brand, but you don't know how to do it. So that's why we came in, and that's why we put together this package, this brand new course that we're launching in a few days, for 50 quid. It's going to have A to Z, a manual, right? When you go to IKEA and you get furniture, they give you a manual on how to put the pieces together. Could you imagine buying something from IKEA and not knowing how to put it together? But that's what a lot of you guys are doing. That's what a lot of people are doing when they're trying to grow a clothing brand. They're starting it without any real knowledge or a manual of how to scale it, how to sell it, how to market, and how to make it a success. That's why we're here to build and helping clothing brands build from scratch to 6 figures. We've done it over and over again with many brands, and we're ready to bring it to market and share the game now. All of those old quotes, the story is to be sold and not told. Forget that. We're giving away free game on Instagram, YouTube. You can go and follow us on everywhere. Constantly giving free game on how you can grow. I don't do anything that other people do, like Lego. We've all got something that we're really good at. We've all got something that we're passionate about. We've all got something that we're good at. And it's about finding what we're good at and translating that into a clothing brand. And if you don't have anything you're good at, right, then just pick a target market in your head, right? So you might think, right, let me target single mothers, right? And this is where you have to be authentic, because you might as well be a single mother yourself, so you understand what single mothers want to wear. But you could say, if you're a guy, you could say, right, I want to target single dads that are working, trying to make a hustle from home, or trying to make ends meet for their kids. Single fathers, right? That's your target market. No one else. Don't target women. Don't target young kids that want drip. Single fathers, or just a father that's hustling, trying to make his ends meet, provide for his family, right? Create a clothing brand for him. That way you know what it's going to be called, what it's going to look like, what it needs to be, and it would help 100 times if you are that person as well. Does that make sense? You need to create a brand with just one person in mind. It will make it 10 times easier to sell. I repeat, it will make it 10 times easier to sell. I need help. Jules Dean says, I need help getting quality made t-shirts and jumpers. Also need someone to put my pictures in a format to be put on a jumper or shirt. yeah, that's fine. We've got access to that. I'm going to send you a link where you can place an order. We're actually partnered with a company at the minute called Hello Print. They're doing some incredible work. So between us and them, you know, we can get that done for you. Drop me a DM and we'll go through it. We'll get all of the JPEGs. I'll get all of the documents from you, and we'll make sure that you can get sorted. Jules Dean, here's a question for you. Who's your target market? In one word, in just one word, who's your target market? You should be able to answer this for me. Who's your target market? Tell me, drop it in the comment below. So what would be my market audience? Crooked Mao says. Crooked Mao, you ordered some stuff from us the other day, right? With a dog face, right? I love that logo. I love it. I love it. Me and my team were talking about it the other day. It's really good. So I don't know where you plan on going with it, but based on my experience, you want to target people that are your age that have some kind of love for dogs. And I'm not sure of the name of the dog that we printed for you, because I'm not good with dogs and the breeds and the name. But whatever name of that dog is, you want to target people that own that dog. Hands down, that's your 6 figures. Target people your age, some males that are your age. I believe, I'm not sure how old you are. I say, for example, you're 30, right? Males that are 30 years old that have that own that breed of dog that you have. That's your target market. The best way to be consistent without capital. There's a couple things you can do to be consistent without capital. You can obviously get a loan. You can get a loan, which can, you're gonna, at some point, again, when you're growing and scaling a business, you're gonna have to lend money. If you really want to make it work, you're gonna have to lend some kind of money. Not all the time, but most of the time, if you want to take it to where you need, you're gonna have to get some capital. So you're gonna have to learn how to raise capital. I won't get into that on this video, as that's a whole video within itself in raising capital. But what I will say is, to be consistent with that capital is to get creative. Okay, you have to get creative. Nowadays, you don't actually need capital, right? You don't need capital, because why? You got social media. So what you lack in capital, you make back in energy, right? So when we run Facebook ads, we run Facebook and Instagram because we don't have the time to sit down and message everyone on Instagram in their DMs and say, hi, we've got a new brand, we're just growing, we're going from scratch to 6 figures, we're looking for some ambassadors, would you like to purchase? Or would you like to be a part of the team? We don't have that time, so we run ads. But when you don't have money, you have to replace money with time. Okay, so you can hit up people online, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, message them, drop everyone a DM, try and message 100 people a day saying, look, just launched a brand new brand. Would you like to check out some of our pieces? If you don't have the money to do it, do that. And another thing, third thing is, when you're running Facebook ads and Google ads, the cool thing about it is you can spend up to £500 before you pay them. So you run the ads and then you pay them after the ads. And that's what a lot of people miss. You don't need money up front to advertise online, because you pay them after, right? So if you start at the beginning of the month, they want payment at the end of the month. So you can spend up to £500 on ads and marketing before you ever have to spend a penny. Right? And if you do your ads right and your marketing right, and you've clued up and you've purchased our course, which shows you how to run effective ads and scale from scratch to 6 figures, you're going to make back your money, that £500, to be able to pay the ads, pay off the ads, and then be in profit. And then guess what? Next month, go again and run some more ads. It's about being creative. When you lack money, when you lack capital, you got to be creative. And then once you got capital, you can slow down on creative and just use your money to grow. Shout out all of the new followers coming in. Let's get into some next sessions. Thank you, bro. You're welcome, brother. Anytime. If you've got more questions, let me know. This is what I'm here to do. This is what we're here to do. We're here to help you guys, clothing brands, scale from scratch to 6 figures. Okay? It's not a joke no more. You've seen what's happening in the pandemic. You've seen what's happening online, right? Being online is foolproof nowadays, right? It's happening. So I've seen it so many times. Me myself, I've got 3 e-commerce stores and an agency, okay, and they're all done online. They're all done online. So if you aren't online and you're a hustler and you want to make more money, then just get with the program and stop wasting time. Honestly, you'll be doing yourself a favor. Shout out everyone. Shout out Ali the Greatest, Zeeks87, KY in the Streets joined. Shout out KY in the Streets, Acid House. Okay, so cool. That was the British Bulldog. Perfect. So back to Crooked Smiles thing. If you got a bulldog, right, your brand is a bulldog. You want to be targeting people that own British Bulldogs that are your age. And that's it. No one else. Because you're going to find that in the UK, there's going to be at least, right, 500,000 to 1 million people that I guarantee you own British Bulldogs. Okay? And if you can even grab just 10%, all right, let's be conservative and say 1% of that million people that own, right? Of those million people that own a British Bulldog, that's 10,000 people. That's 10,000 customers. If you're selling sell a t-shirt to 10,000 people, you do the math of £30 each, right? That's what, 300,000, I believe. Yeah, 300,000 pounds you've made just from 1% of 1 million customers, potential customers. Come on, the maths makes sense. And that's being conservative. That's saying 1%. That's saying 1%. Imagine you can capture 10%. Yeah? Do the math. My maths has to be quicker than that this morning. I might be off, but you get the gist. Let's jump into when you're driving, check your DMs. Yeah, brother, all day long. Shout out everyone else following. So what, like I said, whether you're catching this live right now or you're on replay, you have to know your target market when you're starting a clothing brand. Otherwise, you are washing your money down the drain. We've seen it time and time again. When we came in the industry, 90% of people was not coming back to make repeat orders because they didn't understand how to sell. They don't know how to sell their clothing brand. So what they're doing is they're throwing money down the drain and they wasn't coming back. So we had to make the shift, okay, from manufacturing to not just manufacturing, but also educating, okay, educating people on how to sell their clothing. Because like I said, we're not in it to just take people's money, and so many clothing printers are. They don't care whether you sell or not, even though it should be in their best interest, right, that you sell, because then you're going to come back and buy more. But they don't care. They just want the one sell. We're sick of that. We're sick of that. We're tired of people flushing their money down the drain because they don't know how to market their clothing brand. They see it online, and a lot of people think it's easy, but it's not. It's simple, but it's not easy. And there's a difference between simple and easy, right? It's simple, but people don't know how to do it. It's broken down into three parts, like I said: product, marketing, and distribution. Product, market, and distribution. It's all broken down in this brand new course that we're launching in a few days, right? Which is going to be able to take your brand new clothing brand from scratch to 6 figures. Hands down. We've done it before. We're 10 years deep in this game. We work with over 100 brands, right? We know what it takes. Go to the website, have a little look. Okay, we're going to start posting some case studies and stuff real soon. You guys, it's all about the mindset, and that's what I want to create, a new shift in the mindset, in the culture of let's stop flushing our monies down the drain. Let's learn and educate ourselves on how to build a clothing brand first. And then we go and buy the clothing and we sell out. Then we go out and we start doing the marketing. Then we go out and start building a 6-figure brand. Then we go out and start trying to dominate and take on the big brands in the UK. Then we go to Europe. Then we go to Asia. Then we go to the States and grow it out like that. Shout out everyone joining. If I had a thing button right now that the DJs have, I'll be letting it off. Shout out everyone. So no question. I don't bulk buy. I buy when the order is this good. I used to have dead stock when I bulk buy. Do you think this is a good way? Okay, cool. So there's an app online. If you run a Shopify store, right? If you got a clothing brand store, always use Shopify, by the way. Okay, never use anything else. Shopify is hands down the best platform for building a clothing brand, okay? Number one, use Shopify. And on Shopify, you can install an app called Incredibles, which allows you to drop ship your items. So that means you don't have to hold any stock. You don't have to buy any stock up front. You don't. Hands down. And that keeps your pockets nice and fat. That keeps your pockets not thin, so that you can invest in your marketing, okay? So go ahead and install Incredibles to drop ship your items, right? And the cool thing about that is, to answer your question, that is the best way. That's the best way to do it right now, is to drop ship your items using a company like Incredibles. That way it frees up your cash flow, okay? But what I will say is that when you're using a drop shipping company, you have to understand how they're working, right? So you need to make sure that they're getting your product out on time, you know, that they're delivering a good quality service, as in the packaging is good, they've got your logo on it. Otherwise, you're killing your brand, your customers' experience with your brand. So to answer your question, it's the best way to do it right now is to drop ship and basically send out the t-shirt as and when the customer buys it. That's going to keep your pockets way better. Okay, shout out everyone joining. As I said, this is a warm-up. This is just an IG live right now of me breaking down how to find your target market. How to find your target market. Stop creating clothing brands without understanding who your target market is first. Pick one interest. Pick one target market. Okay, one. For example, I'm driving, right? There's an Audi in front of me. You can create a clothing brand for Audi drivers. That's a brand for Audi drivers. People that drive Audis or are interested in the Audi brand, okay? Or people that like luxury German sports cars, okay? You can create a clothing brand, like I said earlier, for lorry drivers. No one else, just lorry drivers. Make it durable, make sure there's a lorry on it, or a logo or a quote that, you know, for that truckers wear, and you've got your brand. Trapstar did it the best. They targeted people that was trapping on the streets, and after that, other people started getting involved, celebrities, athletes and stuff. But that wasn't their initial target market. Their target market was trappers on the road. Now this isn't a moral question, like I said. This isn't a moral question, a moral debate about whether you should do that. Forget that. This is a fashion debate. This is a fashion lesson, right? Start knowing your target market in your head. You have to. And like I said, we got the course launched, right? If you want more information on the course, hit me up, okay? Stop going to IKEA and buying furniture and trying to put it together without the manual. Could you imagine going to IKEA, buying one of those big fuck off equipment, you know, those big wardrobes, and trying to put it together without the manual? Could you imagine how long that would take and how frustrated, right? How long would that take? But you don't do that. But what you're doing is, when most people like yourself and others are creating a clothing brand, you're trying to create a successful clothing brand without a manual. And I do wonder how people think they're going to get away with creating a successful clothing brand from scratch to six figures without a manual. So what did we do? We went and put together the manual for you. After 10 years of knowledge and experience and learning the game and working with over 100 brands, right? We learned what it takes to put together the manual, right? You can't do it. Stop doing it. The next time you invest in a situation, clothing, and create your clothing brand, stop trying to do it without a manual. It's going to be impossible. And if it's not going to be impossible, it's going to take a really long time. And that's time that you and I do not have. I'm not here to waste my time, and more importantly, your time. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to provide the manual, the blueprint on how to structure and scale a clothing brand and build it from scratch to six figures. Simple as. Okay? If you want more information on the course, drop me a DM, head over to the website, right? I've just arrived at my destination. So we're going to be going live once a day. We're going to be going live once a day, every day this for the next 5 days. So join us. If you've got any questions, come to the IGs with the questions, and we'll go from there. Okay? Remember, guys, stop trying to create success without a manual. You need a manual. So with that being said, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.